Welcome to the podcast. I'm Jess, a family nurse practitioner and legal nurse consultant, and this is the space where healthcare, law, and real-life situations intersect. Each episode is designed to break down complex medical and legal topics in a way that's clear, accurate, and grounded in evidence, without fear, misinformation, or sensationalism. Whether you're a healthcare professional, attorney, gig worker, parent, or simply someone who wants better understanding of how medical events and legal responsibility overlap, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Imagine Sarah, a 48-year-old with advanced arthritis, whose pain hasn't improved with standard therapy. Her specialist mentions a clinical trial testing a new medication. Sarah feels hopeful, nervous, and a little overwhelmed, and she asks, "Is this safe? What will they do to me? How will this affect my current care?" If that sounds familiar, this episode is for you. Today, I'll walk you through what clinical trials really are, how phases work, what protections exist, where to find legitimate trials, and exact questions you should ask before you sign up. By the end, you'll have 3 concrete takeaways you can use right away. Section 1. Clinical Trials 101 and the Phases. First, what is a clinical trial? Simply put, it's a structured medical study that tests whether a healthcare intervention, a drug, device, procedure, or even a behavioral approach is safe and effective. Trials follow protocols, detailed plans that specify who can join, what measurements are taken, and how long the study lasts. Trials can be run by academic centers, pharmaceutical or device companies, nonprofit groups, or government agencies. Each sponsor has different goals, but all legitimate studies must follow ethical rules and oversight. Now, the phases, people get tripped up here, so let's make it simple. Phase 1 is primarily about safety. Small groups, often healthy volunteers or people with the condition, to learn dosing and immediate side effects. Phase 2 tests whether the treatment shows signs of working and gathers more safety data. Phase 3 compares the new treatment to standard care in larger groups. This is where effectiveness is proven, and regulators look for consistent results. Phase 4 happens after approval and continues to watch long-term effects and rare adverse events. Remember, early phases focus on safety and dosing. Later phases look for effectiveness and real-world impact. A few quick myths cleared up. Participating doesn't guarantee you'll get the experimental drug. Depending on the design, there may be placebos or standard of care comparison arms. And trials are not the same as routine care. They have strict rules to protect participants and answer scientific questions. That said, many people do benefit, and trials are an important option when standard treatments aren't enough. Section 2. Consent, participant rights, and safety monitoring. Informed consent is not just a form, it's a conversation. You should be given clear information about the purpose of the study, what interventions or tests you'll undergo, expected benefits and known risks, and any alternatives, including choosing no treatment. Consent documents list potential side effects, but ask for plain language summaries if the form reads like legalese. You have the right to ask questions, take the consent document home, and involve a family member or your primary clinician in the decision. On oversight, reputable studies are reviewed by an institutional review board, or IRB, which is an independent committee that evaluates risks and consent processes. Many drug and device studies also have a data safety monitoring board, an impartial group that reviews accumulating safety data and can pause or stop a trial if concerns arise. Your privacy is protected under regulations like HIPAA. The consent should explain how your data will be used and who will see it. Let's talk risks, benefits, and placebos. A side effect is an expected reaction listed in the consent. An adverse event is any unfavorable medical occurrence during the study. These are recorded and reviewed even if they may not be caused by the study drug. Placebos exist because scientifically, we need to know whether the new treatment works beyond expectations or natural improvement. In many trials, everyone still gets standard of care treatment and the experimental arm is added on top. If a trial uses a placebo-only arm when effective treatment exists, that should raise a red flag. Curious, you might wonder who watches for serious problems. On top of the IRB and safety boards, the study team reports adverse events to regulators. If you experience a concerning symptom, the study has protocols to follow, and you are always free to stop participation and return to your usual care. No study should pressure you to continue if you're uncomfortable.
Section 3. Finding legitimate trials, evaluating them, and exact scripts to use. Start with trusted sources. ClinicalTrials.gov is the largest registry and includes contact info for study sites. Major academic medical centers and reputable hospital research pages post trials, and patient advocacy groups often list studies relevant to specific conditions. When you find a promising listing, confirm the trial's location, sponsor, and IRB oversight. Red flags include promises of guaranteed cure, high-pressure recruitment, no contact information, or requests for payment to join.
Reading inclusion and exclusion criteria can feel like decoding legal text. Focus on the major items: age range, diagnosis specificities, prior treatments allowed or excluded, and key lab or imaging requirements. If you're unsure, call the study coordinator. It's their job to help. Often small exclusions aren't deal breakers, and coordinators can clarify whether it's worth pursuing a screening visit. Now, here are exact scripts you can use. Ask the study team, can you walk me through what visits and tests are required and how long they'll take? Then, what costs will I be responsible for, and which costs does the study cover? Also ask, who will be my point of contact for side effects or emergencies, and how is my primary clinician kept informed? Finally, who funds this study and which IRB reviewed it? These questions tell you about logistics, financial burden, safety structures, and transparency. As you prepare, make a checklist. Get a copy of the consent, list of scheduled visits, a contact card for the study team, and a plan with your primary clinician about ongoing care. Consider transportation and time commitments, potential lost wages, and whether compensation is offered. If something feels off, conflicting information, evasive answers, or pressure to decide immediately, pause and seek a second opinion from a trusted clinician or patient advocate. If you want resources mentioned in this episode, check the show notes for a short checklist, sample questions to ask, and links to clinicaltrials.gov and major academic centers. And if you're weighing a specific study and want a medical review or help framing questions for the research team, I do offer consultations. Details are in the notes. If this episode helped you feel more confident about clinical trials, please subscribe so future episodes can find the people who need them most. Share this with someone who's facing a decision, and leave a question or topic idea. I read them and use listener questions to shape future shows. Thank you for listening. If today's episode helped clarify a medical or legal issue, or made you think differently about how emergencies and accountability intersect, that's exactly why this podcast exists. I'm Jess, a family nurse practitioner and legal nurse consultant, and I work with attorneys, organizations, and professionals who need clear medical insight in complex cases. You can learn more or schedule a consultation at facbynurseJessconsulting.com. If you found this episode valuable, please share it, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps this education reach the people who need it most. Until next time, stay informed, stay compassionate, and always put safety first.